Fourth prank. One thing we all know, or ought to, is that children must be taught to. But to climb the social tree takes much more than ABC. Proper folk of proper breeding need to know much more than reading. Adding up and multiplying are just fine, but really trying to improve your social station needs grace and sophistication. Mr. Lampel led the class in making sure this came to pass. Max and Moritz, no great shock, hate him even more than Bach. Clearly, two such wicked creatures don't have any time for teachers. Lampel hated luxury, but did have one vice, as you'll see. At the setting of the sun, when his working day was done, Lampel loved to light his pipe and puff tobacco through the night. Max and Moritz, quite obsessed with shattering the poor man's rest, decide to cause a massive fright the moment that his pipe's alight. One dark Sunday evening time, they embark upon their crime. While old Lampel's on his perch, playing organ in the church, Max and Moritz quietly glide up to his house and sneak inside. It doesn't take them long at all to spot his pipe against the wall. Keen to make our story louder, Moritz fills it with gunpowder. Urged on by an evil motive, he's made Lampel's pipe explosive. Suddenly Max gives a shout, "Hurry up, he's coming out!" Luckily, they're not too late. Lampel has to lock the gate. Music tucked under his arm. See this man of grace and charm. Heading home without a care, without a clue who's just been there. Desperate now to rest his feet, Lampel lights his smoky treat. Ah, he sighs, there's nothing ever pleases more than simple pleasure. Boom! Those two malicious twits succeed in blowing Sir to bits. Coffee pot and jar and kettle, shattered glass and twisted metal, oven, table, comfy chair, all gets blasted in the air. Slowly, as the black smoke clears, a char-grilled figure now appears. Surely Lampel must be charmed. He's still alive, though not unharmed. Ear to ear and head to foot, his skin is scorched as black as soot. Where his hair hung long and full, there's nothing left but smoldering skull. Who will teach the children now, show them how to scrape and bow? And, the village council asks, who'll perform all Lampel's tasks? And how is Lampel going to smoke, now his precious pipe is broke? Time heals all, or so they say. The pipe might not quite feel that way. And so we're done with mean prank 4, but rest assured, there's plenty more. Fifth prank. It's not always easy, is it, when your grandpa comes to visit? If he is the grumpy type, you will have to be polite. Say good morning, nice and clear. Tell him what he wants to hear. Bring him all the stuff he needs, lighter, pipe, and things to read. Or perhaps his back is sore, needing rubbing, nothing more. You'll of course do anything to ease your grandpa's suffering. If he's had a sneezing fit that's shaken him a little bit, you'll say, "Bless you, Grandpa dear," and hold his hand to soothe his fear. If he comes round yours to stay, you'll help him fold his clothes away. Fetch a nightcap for his head, put warm blankets on his bed. Basically, do all you can to take care of this poor old man. Max and Moritz, as you'll see, saw things slightly differently. Grandpa Fritz a frail old guy, would be such fun to terrify. This was at the time of year when Maybugs start to reappear, buzzing round in all the trees, biting, scratching, all they please. Max and Moritz, full of glee, shake the bugs down from the tree. Cackling Moritz, giggling Max, wrap them up in paper bags. Take the nasty little treats and stuff them in their grandpa's sheets. Pulling on his sleeping cap, Fritz is ready for a nap. Eyes clamped shut and breathing deep, soon enough he's fast asleep. Snick, snick, snack, the insect horde come looking for some flesh to gorge. Soon the leading Maybug goes and grabs a hold of the old man's nose. Arg! Fritz wakes in shock and fear and pulls a Maybug from his ear. Nightmare visions in his head, Grandpa Fritz leaps out of bed. Ouch! A bite, and yet one more, as Grandpa Fritz skips round the floor. All around, each way he turns, it itches, scratches, bites and burns. Barely stopping to draw breath, he splats and crunches them to death. His work is finally complete, when all lie squished beneath his feet. One huge yawn, 3 big sighs, and Grandpa Fritz can close his eyes. And so the 5th mean prank is done. But watch out, here's another one. 6th prank. Easter is a time of year that children celebrate with cheer. In the air there's no mistaking smells of sweet things gently baking. Treats for children who've been nice, but Max and Moritz want their slice. Having been caught out before, the baker carefully locks his door. But Max and Moritz won't be stopped. They know that chimneys can't be locked. Whoosh! Like 2 great lumps of coal, they fly soot-blackened down the hole. Whump! They land with quite some power in the baker's crate of flour. Still all smiles, they start to walk, both of them now white as chalk. Spying pretzels on the shelf, neither can control himself, until the chair breaks into bits and plops them in the baker's mix. Batter dripping from their features, see them rise like monstrous creatures. Now the baker comes back home and spots the 2 strange lumps of dough, grabs the helpless, dripping oafs, and rolls them into 2 huge loaves. Laid out on the board so neat, it's time to face the oven's heat. In they go, and out they come, brown and crisp and nicely done. But don't yet mourn these boys turned bread. It turns out they're not quite dead. Munch, 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 like little mice, they eat their way out in a trice. Shocked, the baker gives a cough. Oh, good Lord, my bread's gone off. Max and Moritz race off fast, but this next trick will be their last. Final prank. Max and Moritz, can't you see? This is your last chance to flee. But somehow they just can't refrain from slashing holes in sacks of grain. The farmer comes to take one sack and lifts it high upon his back. But as he staggers for the door, the grain starts falling to the floor. Here the poor old baffled blighter, what the? It's getting lighter. 2 heads poking from the grain tell the farmer who's to blame. With a loud resounding smack, he shovels them inside the sack. Max and Moritz feel quite ill as they're carried to the mill. Mr. Miller, quickly, man, grind this up as fast you can. Sure enough, he tips each brute head first down the metal chute. Chop, 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 chop. Once the mill starts, it won't stop. One last time, we see our chums ground down into tiny crumbs, till the very last small piece is swallowed by the miller's geese. Conclusion. In the village, news spreads fast, but the sorrow doesn't last. The widow who first lost her birds thinks they got what they deserved. Evil doesn't pay, nods Bach, smiling as he darns a sock. In the schoolhouse, Mr. Lample says it's just one more example. But the baker's not so hasty, points out that they were quite tasty. Even Grandpa Fritz agrees that boys can't just do as they please. The farmer, somewhat sheepishly, says, "What's it got to do with me?" So in short, without those boys, all the village can rejoice. Thank the Lord we can relax. Goodbye, Moritz. Goodbye, Max.